How's everybody doing this Friday, September 11th, 2020? I hope everybody's having a wonderful, wonderful day. Make sure that you guys are remembering what today, is really about 9/11, America's Day, I guess. Before I jump into that much, before I get into all that, I should say, I just want to say thank you again for joining us, guys. Don't forget to follow us on the social media scene. You follow us on Twitter at @theblown_save and on Instagram at @theblown_save. Don't forget, you can still reach out to us at theblownSavePodcast@gmail.com. Any of your questions, comments, concerns, or requests or anything like that. We also got a merch shop. Make sure you take a look at it. And we got a website dropping hopefully in the next couple weeks or so. But I digress. I wouldn't be here without my partner, the one, the only Mr. Casas. What's up, baby?
Hey. How you doing?
I was fucking cracking a beer open, getting ready to do this thing, dude. How you doing?
I like it. It's beer 30 over here at my casa.
There it is, in the Casa of Casas?
In the little casita, because I'm in the pool house.
That's right. You're in the office. You're in the office.
I'm in the office, exactly. I got the casita. I like the casita. Or as I refer to it for work, clase de casas.
Clase de casas. That works all day.
Right.
Before we get into today's show, I just want to take a moment to remember everyone we lost during the 9/11 tragedy. It's been 19 years since that happened. I'm sure everybody who lived through it is never going to forget what they were doing and where they were the day of the 9/11 attacks. Man, like, I don't even know what to say there. I mean, I know there's a whole generation of people that have no idea other than what they read in history books and when people post stuff on social media now, but they don't understand. They don't know what 9/11 really is. They weren't there for the tragedy that happened, man. What are your perspectives 19 years later, man?
Geez, it feels like yesterday, doesn't it? Like for us, because that's I don't know about you, but like for me, or at least the feeling for me, because you're in the military, so everything's different. So you have different perspective, which I really like that we have different perspectives on stuff. But as like just a normal civilian, I guess I can't think of a better word.
Yeah.
To me, that's one of like the biggest tragedies in my lifetime that I've ever seen. Like this country have, because there wasn't like a world war. Yeah, we had the Gulf War when I was small or whatever, and just other little things. But this is something that like really rocked the nation,
Yeah.
And it happened when I believe me and you were either 18 or 19 years old, I think. So like to me, this is like right in the middle of like, man, where we remember all the details, not a little fuzzy or hey, that happened when I was little or young. It's like, man, we remember all the details. And the crazy thing is that day, that week, that month, that year, it all felt surreal. Looking back at it now, like, I have students who were like barely born that year that it happened, right? Which is like trippy to me.
Right.
And a lot of them are like, man, like they are kind of like what we imagine World War I and World War II was like, damn, that's real, like, or the Holocaust to me is like one that's like, I can't believe that was real. Like, I know it's real, but like, it's just hard to believe. And that's the way these kids have that feeling, that perspective. Like, man, I can't believe that actually happened, but it happened,
Yeah.
So that's kind of like the feeling I get, and it just, I felt like it united the nation. I know not a lot of everybody before that, everybody was always really like on George Bush, that he wasn't like the smartest guy in the world, blah, blah, blah. But like one of those, that moment when he comes out and throws like that perfect strike at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah.
Anybody that was like a sports fan, like it doesn't matter if you're a football fan, basketball fan, hockey, whatever it was. Like I feel like everybody just felt a little proud that day,
Yeah.
Like I know I was a Dodgers fan and I don't hate the Yankees or anything. I don't particularly root for them. At that moment, I was just like glad to be in that moment, Like I was like, oh man, like that was just, I don't know, dude. I felt like just that brought us back together again, or I don't know. That's all I could think of,
Yeah. No, like you said, dude, we have two different perspectives as to what we were doing, what was going on. I was waiting for Logan to be born that year. Logan was born 2 months later, on the 21st of November. And so as a soon-to-be dad and as a Marine, I remember being 18 years old and getting ready to do a what we call the dog and pony show for the higher echelon guys. And one of our staff sergeants ran into the squad bay we were all setting up at, and he's like, "Hey, locos, everybody get in the library right now." He was a guy from Puerto Rico, but the most hilarious guy, Staff Sergeant Lopez Maldonado was his fucking name. But he always called us locos. Hey, locos. And we went in there, and I remember we stood there, and the first plane had already hit the first tower, and we were there maybe 2 minutes, and then the second plane hit. And we had 3 people in that were from New York, in the New York area, that couldn't get a hold of anybody over there immediately. Like, it was just like a dead zone over there. And I mean, it was crazy because honestly, because of the situation that I was in the Marines and all that stuff. Like, we immediately, we took a second to be like, oh my God, this shit just happened. And then immediately we all switched over to, all right, we're going to go fuck some shit up now. Like, it's time to go to fucking war. Like, we're going to go fuck some shit up. Granted, it wasn't until like 2 years later that we did anything. But still, it was one of those things. Like, that was the trigger point in my career in the Marines. That was like, all right, well, you signed up for this, so now we're gonna go do it. So I don't know, man. I feel bad. I mean, it's 3,000 people went to bed, last night, 19 years ago, and they never went to sleep again. You know what I mean? They woke up and went to work like it was another Friday or whatever,
right.
Whatever day it was, and like, it's crazy to think that way, dude. 3,000 people were just gone. You know what I mean? Firefighters, police officers, civilians, men, women, children, everybody. You know what I mean?
And all the people that just, like you said, those first responders that gave up their lives to try to save some lives. That to me is just like, it's just beyond comprehension for me, because like that I understand it's their job, it's what they signed up for. When the moment comes, a lot of people still could have that hesitation and say, you know what? I think I'm going to resign today. Like, I think of like the dude from the Florida, the high school park shooting that in at Florida. In Florida, I forgot what it was called right now, right?
The Parkland High School.
Yeah, Parkland High School in Florida, right? Mm-hmm. That dude was just like, I'm out. Remember that by any chance? The security dude? Yeah. So that's what I think of. Like, yeah, some people signed up for it, but some people are like, yeah, I didn't sign up for that, though,
It definitely takes a different type of individual to be able to run into the fire, as it were, than it does. Some people run towards, danger, and other people run away from it. It's just, right. It's kind of our flight or fight reflex that we have in there.
Right. Uh-huh.
That's inherently built into us, and thank God for some people that chose to fight instead of fly away. You know what I mean? They were able to save. I mean, granted, we lost 3,000 lives, but they were able to save countless hundreds of lives to get them out of there while sacrificing themselves. So I know there's a lot of turmoil right now in the U.S., especially over the police officers and stuff like that. But my hat's off to them, dude. They put their lives on the line every day they walk out there. Every day they put the uniform on and whatnot, and especially to our service members out there. Everybody, thank you. If you're doing good with what with the position that you've been given, then thank you. If you're a shithead, no matter what you wear, you're still going to be a shithead. But I mean, am I right or am I wrong?
You're right, because I mean, what you just said right now is, I think of the dude. I don't know if we talked about this podcast, because obviously we talked about so many things, but maybe we should address it. Is like the guy that basically was looking to pick a fight with GM from the Warriors. Did you see when the body cam and all those videos were released?
No.
That security guard. Oh, you haven't seen it? Oh man, you watch it. It's pretty good, because it was a white officer who was there for like additional security, and you could tell, this dude was looking to pick a fight with him. And, when it first came out, it was saying that the GM shoved the officer, that he provoked everything, right?
Right.
And this security officer is even trying to sue the GM, dude. And now this video is released. This dude be lucky if he ever works again, is what I saw. Like, this dude was targeting a GM. Like, you could see it from all the angles. and he's the first one that pushes the GM, not once, but twice. And the GM is showing him his credentials, like, hey, these are, like, I'm the GM, blah, 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 right?
Yeah.
And he's showing it to him, and then he tries to go through again, and he pushes him, and this time the GM pushes him back. And then that's when they start kind of, you know, tussling. They don't really fight or anything, but other people get involved. They're like, hey. But you could tell this dude was looking for a fight, looking to instigate. And those are like the people that's wrong with, like, you know, with cops and security and stuff like that. Like, people that are trying to instigate a fight for no reason, you know?
Yeah.
And this is like one, again, dude, they have it on video. Like, it's clear as day. I can't believe this dude, knowing what he did, I can't believe he was trying to file a lawsuit. I wonder, I know it's kind of died down since, because now the video has been released and everybody's like, oh man, you ain't winning nothing, you know?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. That's what I think of with some of those people, that there's just some bad apples. But I just think the percentage of bad apples is so low, you know, it's so low that it just, unfortunately, makes everybody else kind of look bad, you know? Even though I think it's way more people that put their life on the line to protect us and do good things. That I know so many officers, like, within the communities of, like, Fontana, where I teach at, that just give back to the community, like, left and right, you know?
Yeah.
And that's just, like, impressive to see all that. But that, you know, if it's one of those, like, if it don't bleed, it don't lead, you know? So they're gonna talk about the other stuff, not the good things, you know, that they do.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks that we hear more about the bad things that happen than we do the good things that happen.
Right.
So, for every one bad thing that happens, there are, I'm sure, tens, if not hundreds, of good things that happen. So, I mean, it is what it is, man. I mean, we can't change everybody, and everybody won't change. So, we just got to do what we can to continue to teach the people around us to be better people.
Right.
All right, man.
Totally agree.
Let's get out of that, and let's jump into it, man. Opening weekend for the NFL. The NFL is back, baby. Are you ready for some football? I know I am.
Yes, sir.
Opening weekend, guys. Last night it happened. You know, the Chiefs beat the Texans 34-20 with the last 13 points that the Texans scored during quote-unquote garbage time. You're welcome, Evan, out there. But before the game started, there was a moment of unity, a sign of peace, that was booed by the small crowd in the stands. Fans were allowed to be in the stands up to 20% of the total capacity. J.J. Watt spoke out on Twitter saying, booing during the moment was unfortunate. I don't fully understand why people would do that. The Texans did decide to stay in the locker room during the national anthem. All but one Chiefs player stood during the national anthem. What are your thoughts, man, with the not only the booing of during the moment of unity, but also them staying in the locker room, and then only one of the Chiefs players kneeling during the national anthem?
So I find it interesting because it's one of those, like, look at what part of the country they're in, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's in the area where all the problems are at. So I'm not surprised that they booed, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's not surprising at all. It's disappointing for sure. But you said something a second ago. I can't even paraphrase it because you said it so perfectly. It's one of the nicest or best, most eloquent things I've heard you say. And I'm sure maybe you got it from somewhere, but you said, we can't change everybody and everybody won't change or something. See, I can't even rephrase it.
Yeah.
You said something like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, that's like the most eloquent thing I've heard you say in a while, right?
Right.
That's exactly how I feel about that moment. Like, dude, like, majority of us are with the change, right? Or some kind of change. But we're never going to get 100% buy-in, dude. That's just reality. You're never going to get 100% buy-in. There needs to be some universal laws, you know, put in to get that buy-in closer. And even that, like, I don't see the buy-in ever happening more than like 80%, 90%.
Yeah, there's always going to be people that are going to hate. I mean, it's just what it is.
And like how we talked about it right now, it seems like now it's more it's okay in public to be like this more than ever because of how the president reacts to everything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Before, it seemed like everybody would think this, or a lot of people thought it, but they kept it to themselves. And now, because the president is just quick to make fun of anything and everything on Twitter with his Twitter fingers, it gives other people the perspective like it's okay to hate on other people. You know what I'm saying? To be openly racist or whatever you want, like prejudice, whatever it is. You know, it just seems more openly. And again, of course, we have this generation of students, you know, that millennials or whatever you want to call them, that just behind that have always hid behind the keyboard, you know?
Yeah.
So, but again, now they're no longer hiding behind keyboards anymore. They're actually out in public and they're taunting people,
right.
You know,
because they feel more empowered.
They feel privileged and entitled, empowered, yeah. That's the problem. To me, that's the problem.
It absolutely is. And I think even if, you know, and I say if because we never know what the fuck's going to happen, but even if Trump doesn't get reelected, right, I think as a society, we've taken a few too many steps backwards during these last 4 years. That it's going to take a lot longer for us to move forward or to get back to where we were. And you know what? Maybe because of all of this coming out to light now, maybe we move forward faster, because before, like you said, everybody kind of kept it to themselves, didn't really say anything, and now that it's kind of out in the open, all right, now we can attack it immediately. It's not like I'm going to be harboring this the rest of my life, and then I'm going to tell, you know, over here, make a little comment there, but whatever. But now it's out in the open, and people are saying the things that they feel. Okay, cool, now we know who you are. Now we know what your ideals are. And we can course correct as we can with however we can. But you're right. You know, like I said earlier, you know, we can't change everybody, and everybody won't change. And it's just one of those things that we have to be okay with. Eventually, one way or the other is everything's gonna fall one way or the other. Either everybody's gonna be, you know, everybody's gonna get out of that mentality and finally be like, you know what, we're all one people. Or we're going to go the other direction, and we're just going to have all-out civil war and all this other crap going on. And, God, I hope we don't go that way, is all I'm saying.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't see civil war ever happening again. But, damn, who would ever thought that it would have happened the first time, right?
Exactly.
So, no.
I mean, they went to war. I don't know how versed you are in history, but they went to war for some of the same things we're talking about now, for the end of slavery, for the end of racism, and stuff like that. They did it back then. I mean, it doesn't mean they won't try and do it again, but let's hope that we never go back to that situation anymore. So,
see, the problem is, the reason, or okay, not problem, but the thing is that I don't see them doing that again. Here's why, my opinion, right? Because a lot of the minorities are now in like the military branches, law enforcement divisions. So now a lot of the strong individuals that maybe would have been with that cause won't be joining that cause. So now the numbers are less. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that's why
the diversity and everything that is out there now has definitely swapped. I think that we are no longer the minority; we are the majority. I say we as Hispanic community, African American community, however, but the Anglo Americans have definitely it's evened out a little more, I think. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens over the next 50 years, man. Let's hopefully we're moving. Hopefully this November we move in the right direction, and we look back at 2020 for all the craziness that happened, but also 2020 as the year we decided to make things better.
I agree. I'm with it. I like it.
All right. Let's get back to football, man. Thursday night football. Like I said, the Chiefs beat the Texans 34-20. With the last 13 points that the Texans scored during garbage time. The first half, the game looked like it would be a really close game. I don't know if you got a chance to watch the whole thing, but I did. The Texans stymied the Chiefs' opening drive, and then again holding them on their second drive to a field goal before the Chiefs opened up a can of whoop-ass and held the Texans without a score till the end of the fourth quarter. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, so far certified ground and pounder, worth the price of admission, if I do have to say so myself. Although left a little bit to be desired at the goal line. We had like 4 or 5 different opportunities at the goal line. He could not punch it in there. He was unable to break through the goal line. Is that something that to say about J.J. Watt and the Texas defense, or is that something to worry about? Maybe the breakout running back not being able to pound it in at the 1 yard line. Maybe he needs that room to get around to do something like that. I know you drafted him in a couple leagues, Artie. Where did you draft him? Do you think the goal line stance or not being able to punch it in at the goal line, having like 5 or 6 different opportunities, do you think that's something that maybe he's not equipped to do? Or do you think maybe it's just because the Texans defense holding that goal line defense and J.J. Watt were able to it was just a one-time deal? What do you think?
I think it was the defense when they just penetrated too much, and that dude just didn't have anywhere to go. What's he gonna do? He's smaller than those defensive ends that are coming in. So he didn't have anywhere to go during those. I saw those plays, and his line didn't get the push that it needed to get for him to be able to have a shot at like maybe leaning forward. Like that dude got lit up on a couple, and they were like clean hits. So when they're clean hits like that, that's not his fault, Yeah, maybe he can maneuver and juke and stuff like that. Maybe that's his part. But he's just looking for it's a goal line attack. So you're looking for the hole. You're not looking to get into open space and really create something. You know what I'm saying? So I was fine with it. I had him in 2 or 3 leagues, and then I was playing him in 2 leagues. So I was like, I want you to do good, but not too good,
Okay, so before we get into where you drafted him and how that worked out for you, and he's not a big back, because I was thinking to myself, well, why didn't he go up and over? But he really isn't big enough to be jumping over people, I don't think. Do you think maybe they could have tried, because at one point they did 3 in a row where they just said, all right, we're going to pound it right down the middle. All right, we're going to pound it right down the middle. All right, one more time, we're going to pound it down the middle. And then on the fourth down, they just like, all right, cool. We're going to go ahead and just throw the ball and get a touchdown. Do you think maybe they should have given him the opportunity maybe to break it to the outside, maybe do a power sweep to the left or the right side? Do you think maybe they should have done that, or just do what they did? I mean, we could all go. We could go back and go, if they would have made it, then it would have been genius. They did it 3 times and he finally knocked it in there. But looking back now, you can go, well, why didn't you try and break it to the outside? Why didn't you try and do a little halfback toss or something like that? What do you think?
I think they needed, to mix that up. I don't think they could go right down the middle 3 times, And he's not, like you said, he's not a big enough dude to that just find a way to lower his shoulder. He's not a Marshawn Lynch, man, that's going to go in there and he could take on a middle linebacker or defensive end, Yeah. He's a dude that needs a little bit of a crease to be able to slide through it, And he had no creases, none. So, I think they needed to switch it up in terms of give him a chance to go to the outside at least one time, Yeah.
All right, let's say this then. Edwards-Helaire gets into a similar goal line stance again next week, and he gets stuffed again at the goal line. Do we then begin to panic, or do we then begin to think, okay, maybe he's not the goal line juggernaut that we need? You're on the 20-yard line. We can dump it out to him. He can get the little room. He can get moving. He can get out there, because he did that. He scored like a 23-yard touchdown. He broke out and he was able to move around, and he had room to move, and he was able to get away from people. He almost did it twice, actually. The second time he got tripped up, and it was down at the 2-yard line. That's when they gave him the ball 3 times, and he couldn't make it in there. But
right.
Do you think at some point maybe they go, okay, we need a 3rd down bruiser back to be able to tag him out and put somebody in there who's going to be like a Marshawn Lynch, like a Jerome Bettis, somebody big and hefty that when this dude starts running and you need 1 yard, you're going to get that yard because this dude's that big.
Right. There's nobody on the roster that can do that.
Right.
So what I think is they'll probably just their play call is going to switch, like maybe do like a jump ball with Travis Kelce, who could box out really well. Maybe do a slant play to Hill, who just, could give some kind of move, or again, sweeps, sweeps to the outside.
And then they even had the fake handoff. Mahomes ran it out to the side.
Rolling out. He's athletic enough to do that.
That's all you got to do.
So I think they're gonna switch it up if they end up penetrating that much offensive line like that on the goal line stance, And
the Kansas City offensive line held the defense to. I think Mahomes only got sacked 1 time, and then he did get hurried a couple times. He almost threw an interception twice. But thankfully, one was out of the end zone. They only had 1 foot in, and the other one kind of floated just short enough where they couldn't catch the ball. So I mean, we may be looking at this game a little bit differently if those two things happen. If those 2 interceptions go down, maybe they don't score those 2 touchdowns, and then we're looking at a very different game. We're looking at a 24-20 game at that point. That's a lot closer game at there, but the ball fell the right way for the champs, so it is what it is. I mean, let's see. The new onside kick rule. So there's no more running starts on the onside kicks. It really made the first attempt of the season seem like a waste of time, and the Chiefs almost ran it back for a touchdown. I don't know if you caught this or if you stopped watching by then, but the new onside kick rule, the old onside kick rules, they would start 5-10 yards back, and they would start running once the kicker started moving, and then they would have like a full head of steam, bolting past the 10 yards to try and get the ball. It made it so much more exciting for that onside kick. And now, and yesterday's kick, it was kind of like by the time the guys got the 10 yards, the dude already had the ball and he was running it back the other way for 5 to 10 yards. Do you think maybe this is a sign for the onside kick rule to just go away and just be like, okay, you either take a touchback or I don't know. I remember that we were talking about the things that could change or come of it. I think they should just give the ball to the players on the 30-yard line and call it a day. But we will miss out. We will miss out on those electrifying breakout plays. I remember a couple years ago going to the Coliseum here in Los Angeles. This was the first football game back in L.A. when the Cowboys played the Rams. In the opening kickoff, one of our guys, Mr. Dwayne Harris, ran the opening kickoff back for a touchdown. So we may lose that big playability, that game-changing momentum from somebody breaking one out. But, I mean, what do you think, dude? Is this going to kind of be the beginning of the end for the opening kickoff or the onside kick? What do you think?
Well, yeah, because I read or had seen somewhere and avoid those high collision scenarios where everybody's running at each other at a high speed or with like some momentum. That's why they eliminated the whole crown rule. That's why they made the touchbacks a lot easier on the opening kickoffs. That's why now obviously they're getting rid of the onside kicks, like with the momentum, because they're just trying to prevent all these possible scenarios where dudes are rushing at each other. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Now, it used to be really exciting because now you hardly see any like kickoff returns for touchdowns. Before, I feel like you used to see them all the time. And I felt like you would see them more because dudes were running so fast down the line that dudes would be running the other direction. And it's such a small kind of like window that, man, if you mistime that dude could fly right by you, right? Because you're flying one way and he's flying the other way. That make sense?
Yeah, it really is, man. I mean...
And so I think that they're going to, like you said, I think they're going to eliminate a lot of this stuff. Now, it kind of sucks because now the only way to get the ball is through turnovers, interceptions and fumbles. And fumbles, I feel like, are maybe becoming less because of how they can hit players. Same thing with interceptions. Because of all the little ticky-tack touch rules on the interceptions or how you could guard a defender, like I feel like turnovers are becoming more extinct as well too. So I think it's going to be more of like, okay, who could stop them from getting a first down? That's going to be more impressive. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. The game's changing right before our eyes, and hopefully it doesn't become stagnant. And because I mean. I forget who said it before, but before the NFL used to sell like videos and DVDs and stuff like that of the biggest hits of the season and stuff like that, and now they stopped doing that because now it's all illegal. So I mean, but it's part of the game when you see that big hit. I don't know how many times I'll watch a game and somebody gets a really good hit on somebody. It's like, oh damn, he knocked his socks off. He midget flipped them, whatever you want to call it. But like it feels and like
you see a flag.
Yeah, there's the flag. But it's one of those things. It's part of the excitement of the game that, you know what I mean. to an extent, I feel like they need to let them play, but play safely. You know what I mean? You still gotta let the game play, but you wanna help them, like the way they change the tackling, the way they don't lead with the head, the crown of the helmet. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Like that's good because you're taking the game and making it safer to play, but you're not taking the brutality of it, the bravado of the game away. You know what I mean?
Yeah, put flags on them. Yep, we're good.
If I wanted to watch flag football, I'd go out to the nearest little park and play over here.
It's getting pretty close to flag football or two-hand touch, you know?
If that's the thing, I'm going to be so pissed. I'll never watch football again, unfortunately. My kids will never be able to watch actual football. I'll be like, look, let's watch the Cowboys back in 92, 93, 95. Mm-hmm. This was real football. A couple side notes coming away from the game before we start getting into other things. Andy Reid's face mask was fogged over so bad he could barely read his playbook, and he still led the Chiefs to a decisive win over the Texans. So it goes to show you, it doesn't matter if he can see or not, he's still going to win. I mean, if you have the right players, you're going to win anyways. And also Texas running back Duke Johnson, not David Johnson.
Before you lose that one on Andy Reid, I read a tweet somewhere. Andy Reid wears his Super Bowl everywhere, and he puts it on his hand that he points with to order food because he said sometimes it leads to a free cheeseburger because he likes cheeseburgers and stuff.
Oh, his ring.
So he said, yeah, his ring. Yeah, so he wears his ring on his finger or hand that he points to the menu with, and he says, "Hey, I want a combo, a cheeseburger combo." Blah blah blah. He said sometimes it leads to a free meal. So he said, "Hey, whatever it takes to get that free burger, I'll do it."
Hey, fuck.
I thought that was
I would do the same thing.
I thought that was cool. Just a cool, and it was one of those never change, Andy, never change.
Yes, please, Andy Reid, please never change, sir, never change. Like I was saying, Texans running back Duke Johnson sprained his ankle. Not David Johnson. I know our texting thread kind of went through that real quick yesterday when we were talking about the game. But he did sprain his ankle during last night's loss to the Chiefs. His availability for Houston's next game on the 20th is now in question. So for those of you guys, fantasy football, who have maybe had him as a backup, maybe a handcuff to David Johnson, start thinking elsewhere. And then you put down, after the game, Bernard Hopkins, who was traded away to the Cardinals, tweeted out, thankful that he was, interesting story about Hopkins, Arizona coach, tells him that he thinks he's the best, and he says he knows it. I know we talked a little bit about this off the air, but he doesn't seem very, he's not humble, man. Maybe that's why he's no longer there. You know what I mean?
Right. That's kind of I get the sense that he's a little bit of a prima donna, you know? That's the sense I get of why he got traded. Because, I mean, this dude is a great player. Don't get me wrong. He's a top 3 receiver easily. But when I hear that story, I know some people talk about it like how, because I think of the story I hear with Larry Fitzgerald. I mean, you talked about it, right? Because he's now teammates with Larry Fitzgerald.
Right.
So, and imagine Larry Fitzgerald, someone, because we said Larry Fitzgerald is a first ballot Hall of Famer. Is he not?
Absolutely.
Right. Okay. So we agreed on that. So we said, do you think Larry Fitzgerald, if somebody in his prime told him, "Hey, you're the best," that he would say, "Yeah, I know," right? And what'd you tell me? What would he say? What did you tell me?
Adrian Peterson, or not Adrian Peterson. He would turn around and be like, "I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for thinking of me that way. But I need more info on how I can improve. How can I get better?" And that's the difference between a professional and a prima donna. And I think Hopkins is showing his ass really as to being a prima donna and not a professional. So many compliments you don't say, "Yeah, I know." You don't just say, "Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I know." You're not.
Then I shared my story of Fitzgerald with you, where he was talking to, I believe it was Murray. I could be wrong who he was talking to.
Right.
But they caught an audio clip of him saying, hey, come over here. I want you to watch this guy. He's all, this guy has no weaknesses. He's the best. He's the best in the game right now. He's all, he could do everything on the field. There's not one thing he can't do on the field. And he wasn't talking about Hopkins. he was talking about Julio Jones.
Yeah.
And that's one of the greatest receivers. Larry Fitzgerald, in my book, I don't even know. I'd have to sit on the rundown. But he would probably be fighting for top 5, but he's for sure in the top 10 greatest receivers of all time. And that's one of the top 10 greatest receivers of all time talking about another dude. Yeah. And that dude's name is not Bernard Hopkins. So to me, like, that was really interesting to see Hopkins say thankful after knowing he's already said, like, oh, I know, when someone told him, I think you're the best, and they're trying to give him a compliment, and that dude said, I know, instead of like, thanks, I appreciate it type of thing, you know? Yeah. I don't know, man. It just rubbed me the wrong way. Like, I'd rather cheer for a guy like Larry Fitzgerald any day as opposed to a dude like Hopkins. Again, not to say Hopkins not a good player or anything like that. But when it comes to cheering for my players or whatever, that's not like a dude that I'm cheering for, you know?
Yeah, no, I'm with you there 110%, man. I mean, it's one of those things where, yes, you know you're good, but you don't you don't stop being a professional about it. You know what I mean? Yes, I'm good. There are people that are always going to be better than you. Even the greatest, you know, let's just say, I like to say it, but the greatest quote-unquote running back, the all-time rushing leader, Emmitt Smith, will turn around and tell you, like, hey, man, I was great, but freaking Barry Sanders, whoo, he could run the shoes off of you. You know what I mean? And I'm sure they both would be like, hey, man, Sweetness was a beast, you know. Jim Brown was a monster out in the field. Nobody could tackle him, you know. And you see the professionalism of them just being like, yes, thank you for telling me I'm great. I appreciate that. I work hard. I do what I can to get there. But there's always room for improvement. There's always somebody better than you that you can be like, yeah, I appreciate it, but this guy right here, man, like, this guy is who I modeled myself after. Like, I wouldn't be nowhere without these guys and that. And Hopkins just comes out as arrogant and just unlikable at this point. Like, I'm just like, really? That's who you're going to be right now? Like, get the fuck out of here, dude. Be a better person. You know, try and set a better example for kids that are growing up. Like, it's okay to be cocky and be like, hey, man, like, yeah, I'm one of the best out here. You know what I mean? But don't be like, yeah, I'm the best. And what? What happened? What's going on? What's next? Like, no, don't do that.
I wonder if Larry Fitzgerald is going to rub off on him, you know, because Larry's at the tail end of his career. And now, obviously, like we talked about it, that, you know, he's over there with Larry Fitzgerald. So I think maybe Hopkins will start to hopefully come around and be maybe a little more humble, you know?
Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see what comes of it. Hopefully, Larry Fitzgerald does get a hold of him and goes, hey, man, look, you're good. Let's talk. Like, let's get you to be better than the good. Let's get you to be one of the best elite receivers out there, and let's be humble about it, because there are other people that are better than you. So calm the fuck down.
Right, and to be honest, like, he's not a Hall of Famer right now. Do you think he's a Hall of Famer?
Bernard Hopkins?
Oh, right.
No way.
Yeah.
No way.
I agree.
If he retired tomorrow because of an injury, he's not getting in the Hall of Fame.
Right, exactly. Like, you know, we talk about Calvin Johnson. He retired early. He's a Hall of Famer.
Hall of Fame all day. I mean, even Fitzgerald. I think Fitzgerald, he retires tomorrow because whatever. He's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, but he's already at the tail end of his career. He's not going to do. I mean,
but still. I mean, you're right. Megatron was still, and he could still go out there and play the game. And for whatever reasons unknown to us and the Detroit Lions, he said, "Fuck it, I'm out."
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how else to say it, but that's basically what happened. He said, "Fuck it, I'm out."
Yeah, he sure did.
All right, guys, get your sports books out. We're about to pick the rest of this week's games right now. We have a couple no-doubters and a long shot pick if you're trying to go put some money down. For my first no-doubter, I think the Ravens are going to beat the Browns hands over fist here. Artie's pick, you put the Chiefs over the Texans.
That's obvious, right? That's a no-doubter.
It is a no-doubter, but we're talking about
this. See here.
This coming up Sunday, Monday.
Are we talking with the spread, or are we just talking a straight win?
Straight win. Who's a no-doubt? Who's going to cover the spread and be a no-doubt win? I think the Ravens are going to go ahead and blow over the Browns.
Now we're talking about?
I don't care. Yeah. I don't care if the Browns have or get like a two-score buffer. I think the Ravens are going to go ahead and whoop over the Browns. You can put that in the stocking, take it to the bank, let them know you're going to fucking make some money on it.
Jeez, I like that one.
Who else you got? You got to pick something different.
No doubters. Jeez, there's not any really no
It's
doubters
really
besides
hard.
that one though.
Yeah, no, it's really hard on this
Uh,
one.
oh goodness gracious! I just don't think they kill him, but I feel like they win for sure. As the Cowboys,
Okay, okay. A
like I mean,
straight
I just
win.
don't. I just don't think. I think they're gonna win. Like I feel very confident that they're gonna win. I just don't know whether it's like
Where
they're
they're
not. I
gonna
don't think they're
clear
gonna blow them out. You know,
they may not
nothing.
clear the sports books, but definitely gonna get a W. So bet that
Yeah,
one straight up, guys. You know, take it to
yeah,
the bank
'cause
right now. Artie said,
it-
bet it
is it
straight up.
me or
Don't
is
give
it
him any points.
the home team's the one we have on the right, right?
Correct.
Like it's the Rams opening.
Correct.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
The
I don't know. I
Cowboys.
feel bad. Maybe the Rams. I don't know. I just don't
I
see
think
the Rams doing much right now.
I think the Cowboys ruined the Rams' day, but we'll get to that on Sunday.
Me too.
So that's your pick right now. Artie's solid pick.
Yeah.
No doubter. The Cowboys are going to beat the Rams.
I don't tell my buddy Joe. And,
I won't tell him.
I know you're probably all happy that I chose that, but I really do feel like I just think I make fun of you and Joe a lot about Cowboys fans. That's obviously just what I do with my friends. I make fun of their team.
It's always our year.
You know,
We
it's
got to
always
keep
the
saying
year.
it.
And I've told you, I don't think you guys are going to win the Super Bowl, but I think you guys could get to the NFC Championship.
Absolutely.
I always feel like you have to kind of work your way towards that. Like it's not all of a sudden you get there and you win it, you know?
Yeah.
After never like even really being there in a while. So, but I do see I've talked about that. I think the Cowboys are going to win, double digit games. They might get the 10 win markers really where I see them at,
I think so too. And I think everybody else out there is also putting them at 10-6. So that's a pretty good start right there, man.
Yeah. And I could see them easily going like 11-5,
Yeah.
but for sure, what I have them at for sure is 10-6. I think they're capable more.
I know absolutely they're capable of way more, but I think 10-6 is a good spot to shoot for. You're 10-6, you're in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You're at 10-6, you might get the second spot, the number 2 in the NFC. But we'll have to wait and see till the end of the season on that one. All right, Artie, I need your long shot pick. You say the Bengals over the Chargers?
Yeah, 'cause I don't know if I put a question mark because I don't know if it's really a long shot. But I mean, the Bengals did work the team in the NFL last year, right? So technically, it is a long shot. I like the mojo of the kid. John. What's it? Joe Morrow or Joe Burrow? What's his name?
Joe Burrow.
Yeah, I like the mojo. I like the things he's saying. He has that rocket arm. He has some receivers. If they're healthy, they're pretty damn good. He has a running back that's pretty damn good. So, I mean, that defense is suspect, but I mean, the Chargers, they're hurting. They have a new quarterback. They have a tiny little running back, and the defense is hurting. They lost their star defensive player,
Yeah.
So, well, one of their stars because obviously Bosa's still there. So, I mean, we're talking about long shot. They are in Cincinnati. I'll take the Bengals. They can't be favored to win that game. I don't see them being favored, so I'll take them to win that game because I picked out my winners there, and I don't know. I think they're probably to me the ones that I'm taking the underdog on that one.
All right, my long shot to win is going to be the Cardinals over the Niners. I think the Cardinals may have a little extra swag in their bag to come into Niner territory and go ahead and take that W for the first gate win of the season. I mean, I don't know. That one just rubs me the right way. I just feel like everybody else kind of is set where they're set, and I think the Cardinals have the opportunity to come in to San Francisco or to where are they now? They're not in San Francisco anymore. They are they're like the Angels of the football. They're the San Francisco Santa Clarita freaking 49ers. But I think that's going to be I think that's going to be my upset because I think everybody's going to think the Niners are going to win that one, but I think the Cardinals take that one. Getting into the rest of the games, I see you got the Bills over the Jets, the Vikings over the Packers, even with Aaron Rodgers with that chip on his shoulder because they're talking about maybe him getting out of here with the new quarterback getting drafted. You think the Vikings are going to take that?
Well, they're at home, so I always like to favor when it's close. I'll take the home team. I think the Vikings are just in their prime right now. I think they're a good defensive team. I don't know about great. They have great moments. They got a really good running back. They got a solid quarterback. They still have an elite receiver, although I kind of very curious. I try to stay away from him, Thielen, because he lost Diggs, and I felt like Thielen was not targeted as much because he had Diggs. Those, they couldn't just focus a defensive plan around Thielen.
Yeah.
So again, there's certain dudes I try to stay away from. Even though I like them, I try to stay away from because I'm like, they don't have that 1-2 punch no more. You hope that the new dude steps up and becomes the 1-2 punch, but right now, he's not. But still, I think they have a good enough offense that they're pretty solid. Again, they're at home. Home team.
Well, this season, the home teams aren't going to matter as much because it won't be as loud and as crazy as it has been in the previous seasons. Like I said before, right now the NFL has allowed up to 20% of the capacity of your stands are allowed to be on the field, or not on the field, but in the stands. And then on top of that, it's at the discretion of the state and county that the teams are in. So some will have a little bit more. Or some will be up to the 20%, but others will be less than that. So you never know. And Vikings-Packers, that game is indoors at Vikings Stadium or whatever. That is indoors, so it might be less than 20% just to kind of keep it safer. So I don't know, man. Usually that home field advantage is good because you got the fans and everybody yelling and screaming and doing all that fun jazz. But I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna go with the Packers on that one, man. I'm gonna have to sit that one aside from you, and I'm gonna go Packers over the Vikings on that one. I think Rodgers comes out slinging it and wants to prove a point that, hey, man, I can still do it. So anybody else who wants to get me after this year, if they don't want to keep me here, I'm ready to go play somewhere else. I think that's what Rodgers comes out and says. It's a statement game for his final season as a Packer, I want to say.
Okay.
Next up, we got the Eagles over Washington. I do agree with you. I think the Eagles are going to beat the Washington football national team, whatever the hell they're going to call themselves. We both agree the Ravens are definitely going to blow out the Browns. Colts and Jaguars. You know what? I'm going to go the other way around on this one. I'm going to go with the Jaguars. I like me some Minshew madness, brother. I like his swag. I like the cutoff jean shorts with the long hair and the dope mustache. I'm going to go with the Jags on this one, man. What you got on the Colts?
Phillip Rivers, man. They just have the better team, dude. The Jaguars defense, everybody's talking about how bad that defense is going to be this year. They don't have really a running back. Yeah, Minshew's, they might be depending on the offense of throwing the ball, slinging it. But I don't know, man. Something tells me the Jaguars are going to tank this year. Like, I feel like something's going to go bad. They're going to tank, and they're going to go for like a number 1 pick or a top 3 pick or something. I don't know, man. I want nothing to do with any really Jaguar players. Although I know you're going to say it. I picked up that running back, but that's just because they named that dude the starter. And, anytime they name a starter, pick him up. He's on my bench. It's not like I'm starting him. Right. He's on my bench. I picked him up because, hey, man, I'll take a shot. I'll take a shot at some dude that they name a starter who you never know. It might be trade bait.
My thing with the Colts is Phillip Rivers. He likes to take a lot of risks, and they have lost a lot of games with some bad throws from Phillip Rivers, some bad fumbles from Phillip Rivers. I think he tries to do a little too much over a Jaguars defense. Like you said, that's not overly stellar. And I think a few too many mistakes lets the Jaguars come in and take that W. So I'm going to go ahead and hang my hat on the Jaguars while you hang it on the Colts. We both agree the Raiders are going to suck. It doesn't matter where they are. They're still going to be sucking. And they're definitely going to lose to the Panthers. CMC is going to run all over that Raiders defense. And, is there anything else to be said about that game?
No risk and no biscuit on that Colts one. What do we say? Which one you're talking about?
We're talking about the Panthers and Raiders.
Man, I don't know. I think the Raiders might be sneaky, dude. I don't think it's a blowout. I think they win.
I think Panthers win by 10.
By 10? Okay, but that's still not a blowout,
It's not a blowout, but I think they win by 10.
They're at home on their field, Always like that stuff. I get it. The home crowd, yes, but oh man, there's still something about playing your home field.
Yeah, sleeping at home, getting your dinner from home, places you love and stuff like that. No, there's always something to say about playing at home.
I have a feeling the Raiders are going to be better than what people think, I really do. I think that offense isn't bad. It's a defense that is going to really hurt them.
They're a 1-15 team, so if they do any better than that, then I was wrong.
Oh, they're not 115. I'd easily put that. Easily. No way. I
They-
mean, I'm not a
they-
big fan of them, but they are
here's
not
the
115.
Here's the thing, though. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. I mean, they got to compete with.
I don't think they'll make the playoffs either.
I don't think they're going to make the playoffs for anytime soon, just because you have the Chiefs right there, and then they got to fight off the who else they got over there? The LA Chargers. Well, they don't really have to fight off them, I guess. That was pretty much gibby. Okay, so they'll be the third team in the AFC West. Let's see who else do they got to fight off over there. Who else is in the AFC West right now?
I know I'm not very good with knowing who's where. To be honest.
Damn. I'm trying to think off the top of my head here. I'm trying to look at the teams here. Oh, the Broncos. The Broncos are in the West. So I think the definitely go Chiefs, Broncos, then Raiders, and then fucking Chargers. So sorry, Monica, your Chargers are not that good. They haven't been for a while, not since LT was there. So yeah.
So you really believe in the Broncos, even though Sutton is hurt?
I do. I believe in the Broncos. He will. Sutton shall return again. That's all right. That's all right. He might be back this weekend. Who knows? They're going to check him out tomorrow, and then we'll see what happens there. We got the Bears and Lions. You're going with the Lions. I honestly think the Lions are going to do really well. The Bears defense is one of the best defenses in the NFL, but they have no offense. So,
yeah. Trubisky is one of those he has moments.
Yeah, no, like I say, but you can't live off of a moment here and there. You got to be consistent, and I don't think the Bears have. So I'm with you there. Sorry, Sardano, our friend from the podcast a week ago or 2 weeks ago. The Bears aren't going to win this first game, man. The Lions are going to go ahead and throw it all around them, and I think they squeak it out, maybe by 7, maybe 6 points. I think they get that.
Okay.
Next on the docket, we got the Seahawks and Falcons. You got the Seahawks. I got the Seahawks. I think definitely they're going to beat Atlanta. It doesn't matter how awesome Julio Jones is and Matty Ice. I think the Seahawks have too much on the offensive side of the ball to say, I think the Falcons defense is going to handle all of them with DK Metcalf and all them over there running around. I mean, I think I'm with you, man. Seahawks take this one hands down. I think they win by 5.
Yeah, I could. I like the Seahawks. I'm a big Russell Wilson fan. I just like that guy. So yeah, man, I'm with them. I'm with it.
Right on. Patriots over the Dolphins. I think, man, I hate that the Patriots always lose against the Dolphins, but I think this year, I don't know, man. Like it could happen. I don't know. Just because we got to see how it can happen. I mean, they always have an issue with the Dolphins. It doesn't matter if the Dolphins are 1-10 at the time. For some reason, they always show up to play the fucking Patriots. But I think it's a little different now because you got Cam there, and from what everybody's saying, all the reports, Cam's looking fucking amazing again. So we just have to wait and see what that one goes. I'm gonna pick the dark horse on this one. I'm gonna go with the Dolphins because I think just history tells us that at the beginning of the season, the Dolphins somehow find a way to win to beat the Patriots. So I'm just gonna go with that one because the Patriots don't have really that many weapons on offense that you can be like, yeah, they can just light it up over there.
Right.
We got Chargers and Bengals. No question here. I think we're both going for the Bengals. The Chargers just do not look like a team that's ready to play football right now. I think in a couple years, once they get their young guys up and running, maybe 2-3 years tops, I think the Chargers start having something going on. But right now, I don't think they're nothing more than a practice squad for any other team that's going to play them.
Yeah. Who are we talking about? Who'd you call practice squad?
The Chargers.
Oh my God, you're so mean. But dude, I don't know, man. Yeah, I don't think yeah. No, man. I just
begging, bro.
yeah.
You're begging on this one.
Or they lost. I don't know. I like Keenan Allen, the receiver.
Yeah, okay.
Like Edgar, he's a workhorse.
Uh-huh.
Bosa's pretty damn good on defense. Isn't that dude? Is he still on the team? The lights out dude.
Who?
One that used to rub his arm with the lights out guy. I forgot his name. Linebacker.
No, he's not. He's with the Niners.
Is he really?
Yes.
What's his name?
shit Nuggets. I know, and everybody at home is going to be like, it's blah, blah, blah. But he's with the Niners now.
Wow, I didn't know that. I forgot the safety's name. I think he retired though, but that dude was pretty damn good too. A white dude. Not Jarwin, the one that got hurt, but there's a safety with them too that was really good. I just forget their names. I don't know, man. Yeah. Chargers, the best I think they will do best, and I mean I'm really reaching here, is 500. Best.
I think they're fighting.
I'm reaching.
I think. Sorry, Monica, and sorry, Fredo, but I don't think the Chargers are doing much this year. Don't watch the games because you're going to be disappointed 98% of the time.
98%. This guy.
But I still think they could pull out a couple wins, man. There's a couple teams out there that I think they could definitely get a W over. Just luckily get one over. Maybe Washington be one of them.
Right.
The Jets maybe. The Dolphins going rookies versus rookies there. You maybe get one of those. You're rolling at 3 and 14 or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on to the Cardinals and Niners. I think that's a long shot. I mean, the cards are stacked towards the Niners one on this one, but I think if anybody has a chance to knock them out at the beginning of the season, I think the Cardinals have it with Kyler Murray there, getting some work in and doing work. I think the Cardinals may upset the Niners, but if I'm putting money on it right now, I don't know, man. Niners look like a solid team. I know you picked them. My long shot is the Cardinals, but I think the Niners do win this one. But the Cardinals do have a shot, I think.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I'm taking the 49ers. I do think they have a shot. I agree. They do have a shot. That's no doubt for sure.
Right.
I don't know.
Whatever.
So we'll see. I do. It's not the most comfortable or safe pick, but I do like the Niners. Again, home team. Whenever it's close, I take the home team.
Gotcha. Next up, we got the Bucks and the Saints coming in. Tampa Tom coming in with his first game with the Buccaneers versus Drew Brees and the Saints playing at home. I honestly, I mean, Tampa Bay has put together a pretty solid squad on paper this offseason. Let's not lie. They had a pretty decent squad last year, but after the additions, they got a really solid squad on paper. But I do think, like you said, playing at home, I think the Saints take this one and welcome Tom Brady to the South, since he's been playing in the East for so long. But I'm with you there. I think the Saints beat the Bucks. I don't think Gronkowski gets in the end zone this game. I think it's gonna the Tampa Bay Buccaneers offensive line is gonna show Tom Brady what they're all about. And I think if Tom Brady gets hit 3, 4, 5 times, it's going to be a shit show at that point. Tom's used to being upright, and I think he's going to be on the ground a lot more. I think his jersey is going to be way, way more dirtier now being with the Buccaneers than he was with the Patriots. And he wasn't that clean to begin with. So I'm with you there on the Saints. You got any comments on that one?
I think it's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be a real good game. I'm excited to see that one. But, man, I just think the Saints, again, at home, they have been playing together. They have the experience. Buccaneers are playing together for the first time. I think the Bucs are going to get going and they'll make the playoffs. But I think it's going to take a little bit to really gel together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think the Saints are pretty much already gelled together. And again, the home team. So I will always lean towards the home team and maybe some experience, and definitely the Saints for sure. That's just the way I see it.
Right on. What else we got? We got the Cowboys and Rams. I think we both agree, that the Cowboys are going to beat the Rams. They are going to spoil the home opener for the Rams, and I'm so happy about it.
Yeah, I almost took them as a long shot because of the home opener. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then I changed my mind because of the no fans. I'm saying, so that's basically, I just see the Cowboys as a better team, and without the fans, it's not really a home opener. Or I guess it doesn't really feel like a home opener.
Right.
And without that extra little X factor, I just see the Cowboys coming out on top.
I agree. Well, wholeheartedly, I think the Cowboys have a more solidified offense and a better defense this year than the Rams do. Rams got rid of Todd Gurley, but he wasn't really doing anything over the last 2 seasons. it's going to be interesting to see how that game goes. But I do think the Cowboys go ahead and win that one as well. Steelers, we both picking the Steelers over the Giants. I think the clapper over there. I think they're going to make it an interesting game, but I don't think the Giants are going to have what it takes to beat the Steelers. Big Ben's back; he's healthy. Juju Smith is going to have his guy throw him at him again. James Conner is going to be there. I mean, I think the Steelers have too many weapons for the Giants to do anything.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. If anything, I might have taken that one. That was a close one, 50-50 call. Again, I like the experience of players. I am big on the Giants this year. I think they're going to be a sleeper team that a lot of people don't realize they're going to be better than what they are. I mean, I don't think they'll beat the Cowboys in that division, but I think they're going to contend for a wild card spot.
Okay.
Anytime you got a healthy Barkley, you're going to have a shot. If the defense stays healthy, you have a shot. Their biggest weakness is they don't have any like elite receivers. You know, they have some receivers, but none of them are elite anymore. You know, they're just dudes that they're going to throw the ball to. They got an elite tight end who is brittle. So if that dude stays healthy, I think Daniel Jones is pretty damn good. That's the name, right? Daniel Jones, the quarterback. I think he's pretty damn good. I think he's underrated. I drafted him in almost every league as my number 2 quarterback, and unfortunately as my number 1 quarterback in like one league because it was like a 12-man league and blah blah blah, right? So yeah, and I think he's a dude that's gonna throw for at least 20 TDs. I think he's gonna find a way to account for 30 TDs this year. I know I'll be crazy. I just think he's gonna find a way to account for 30 TDs between running and passing. So he's gonna be maybe in like the mid-20s passing, maybe higher 20s, and he'll be around the 5 marker for rushing, which will put him at 30 for the year.
Okay, I see you.
You know? I think, I feel like the NFL, it's kind of easy to pass for 3,000 yards. So I think he's going to pass for 3,000 yards, But yeah, dude, 3,000 yards, 30 TDs. I mean, that'll put you right there in the top 10, quarterbacks.
Yeah, it will. I mean, that'll get you some notoriety at least. So,
yeah.
But I still think we both agree the Steelers are going to go ahead and take this one. A little more experience. I don't want to say older guys, but yeah, experience. I think takes that one left and right. Finally, Monday Night Football. We got the Titans and the Broncos. We both picked the Titans to win. You got King Henry going in there. I think they're just going to go ahead and mow down the Broncos. Although, and hear me out here, they are playing at Mile High Stadium. And that air is thin. And the Broncos always are in any game that's played up there because the other team can't get the oxygen up there to their heads and be able to play later on in the game. So if the game's tight, I think the Broncos might steal that one. But I think if the Titans play the way they should and pound that ball, I think the Titans pull this one out. What do you
think? The Titans. yeah. Because you were selling the Broncos and then you said, and then I think the Titans will pull it out.
Well, I'm trying to give. I'm like,
wait a second here.
I'm trying to give Ramon. I'm trying to give Ramon out there a little bit of love. You know what I mean? Talking about the Broncos.
You had me thinking you changed your pick there or something. I really was. I was like, wait a second. Did he say? I still think the Titans will pull it out.
Okay, but here's the thing: if it's a tight game going into the end of the third, fourth quarter, right there, the Broncos have a shot just because they're used to the high altitude. If it's not, if the Titans come out fucking bulldozing down the Broncos, then it's no question Titans are going to win that. They're going to hold on to win. They can just slowly run the ball in timeout. But if the game is close going into the third, fourth quarter more than anything, I think the Broncos have a chance to steal that one. But my money's on the Titans.
I read it somewhere. I don't know what this tweet was, right? But I believe it was the Lakers. And they basically said, if so-and-so could play defense, and if so-and-so could play offense, and if so-and-so makes a good game plan, and I could see this series going four games. And it's like, wait a second, that's sweet. Yeah, I don't see them winning at all. That's what I feel like you just did right now, where you're like, man, if this goes right, and that goes right, and this and that goes right, I see them losing.
even all that happening, they're gonna lose.
I swear that's what it felt like you just did. You bamboozled me, right? I really did. Yeah, man, you had me thinking, damn, maybe the Titans isn't a good pick. Yeah, I just think the Titans. I think Henry's in the prime of his career right now. I think Henry's just a horse, dude. A horse unlike any other horse. He's so big and so fast. Like, dude, like he's stronger than most defensive linemen, and he's faster than most, safeties. Like, that's unreal, like.
And he's bigger
feed your horse, right? Yeah, he's bigger than most of it. So feed your horse. They got two pretty damn good receivers. The Titans, they got AJ Brown, and they have the other dude who I drafted in some leagues. I'm trying to blank on his name right now, but he's on a contract season. And when people are contract season, man, they all of a sudden get motivated and put up 1,000 yards and like 80 catches or whatever.
Yeah.
And I feel like that dude has a shot. He has a potential to do it. His thing is whether he stays healthy, blah 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 blah, right? Yeah. And if that dude stays healthy with the running game they have and AJ Brown now there to complement him, I think he could do it. I think he could do it, and I think the Titans are going to be a very good team. I really believe in the Titans.
Right on. I mean, like I said, all the stuff I said, and I still root for the Titans on this one. I do have King Henry in one of my leagues, so I'm hoping that he has a big game. And I hope he doesn't get tired out too quickly. All right, so one more thing I want you to pick here, Artie, because I am in one of these things, and some of you guys at home may be in one of these leagues called the Survivor League. You got to pick one definite loser to keep going. Last person standing kind of wins on this one, but who would you pick as your definite loser? Obviously, we can't pick the Chiefs or the Texans on this one anymore.
Wow.
But who would you pick right now, hands down, if you're in the Survivor League? Who's gonna lose this week? Damn, that's a long.
Browns.
That's where I went. If you had to pick somebody else other than the Browns, who are you gonna pick? 'Cause I think that's overly. Everybody's gonna go Browns. But for that one random person that's like, you know what, I'm going to go another route in case the Browns beat the Ravens, which isn't going to happen. But if they had to go in a different direction,
Washington,
you think
Redskins?
You think the Redskins are a definite loss? I can see that.
Oh, they don't. They're talking about they want to split time with the running back when that other running back is clearly the better dude. They have Haskins as the quarterback, who's not the greatest. They have one receiver, and he's kind of small, but he's pretty damn good. The defense is nothing special. I mean, man, and you got to look at the Eagles matchup. I know that you probably hate them, the Eagles, but I mean, they got the right players. Those fools seem to win somehow. Like, I don't know, they win just dirty. Like they just find a win.
Yeah, they're gritty.
Yeah, they're gritty. There you go. That's probably the right word. They're gritty, dude. So I don't know, man. I'll take the Washington to lose. Yeah, but.
You had to go away from the Bears on the not the Bears, the Browns on a Survivor League. All right, guys. I mean, we'll try and get you guys some earlier picks that we includes Thursday next week. But those are our picks for wins of the week. Those are our lockdown, no doubters, and we have our long shots in there as well. And if you guys are in a Survivor League, definitely.
So we're gonna do like a little friendly gentleman's bet here or something for who has a better record between us picking them all year or what?
Oh, I'm okay with that.
Right.
What do you want to do?
I would say a nice little sixer or something, or a 12-pack of beer.
A 12-pack.
It's a long season, so I would say a solid 12-pack for sure.
I say a 12-pack
even a 24.
I say a 12-pack of the dealer's choice on that one. Winner's choice of a 12-pack.
I agree.
All right, we'll go with that. You guys heard it here first, September 11th at sometime around in the evening time. We have agreed. Person who picks the best teams throughout the year. I'm probably going to be buying Artie some beer at the end of the season, but I'm game. I'm having a good time, so let's do it. Shifting gears over to the NBA, teams are starting to distance themselves in the hunt for the championship. The Lakers look to send the Rockets home, and the crosstown Clippers to the Denver Nuggets. Looks like the battle for LA is going to be in the Western Conference Finals. The Clippers blew a 16-point lead tonight It was the second time they did this in the playoffs this season. Love how the Rockets were awfully quiet after pumping their chest left and right during that first win. Absolutely, dude. I definitely. I know some people at work right now who are fucking yelling and screaming left and right. The Rockets are going to go ahead and take this one. I was like, nah. That's what they said about the Lakers when they lost that first game at the beginning of the thing to the Portland Trailblazers. They're like, oh, Portland's going to run over them and blah blah blah, and then that was that.
They just kind of figure out. They just readjust their game plan, and say, okay, that's how they're going to attack us. This is how we're going to shut them down,
Yeah.
And the Rockets really had to play their best game to barely beat the Dodgers. I'm sorry, the Lakers.
Yeah.
They played their very best game to beat the Lakers, dude. I mean, absolutely. And they barely beat them. And then the Lakers slapped them around pretty easily on the other, 3 points, right?
Yeah.
So the reason I had a problem with them beating their chest was the reason I said that is because I don't know if you knew, but Russell Westbrook was doing that in the direction of where the family section was at of the Lakers. Like he was over there screaming profanities and stuff like that. And it's like, man, I'm all for it. But I mean, you don't have to like put it in their direction, like it's not the fans. It's not really home court right now,
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I don't think there's a need for all that,
I'm
I
with
don't
you
think
there.
there's a need. So I didn't like that. And I like Westbrook. I just don't like that he did that. I don't know if he, obviously he probably wasn't doing it on purpose. Like say, oh, there's the family of the Lakers. I'm going to go and my chest towards them. He probably wasn't doing that, but still he did do that,
Yeah. I'm with you there on that one. I thought the Clippers were going to go ahead and take this fourth game, but looks like they dropped one to the Denver Nuggets, and now it's 3-2. Still the Clippers lead. I still think the Clippers go ahead and send the Denver Nuggets home in the next game. And I think it's going to be a Lakers-Clippers All-LA West Coast Championship. And I think, honestly, it's going to be the Lakers taking that one out. I think they lose one again and then win the next four. I mean, it's just – I think the Clippers might bring it back 3-2, but I think the Lakers end up winning 4-2 in the Western Conference Finals. What do you think?
That's what I agree. I think that's a 4-2. I hope that's a 4-2 Lakers series win as well too. Maybe it goes 7-7, dude, because the Clippers are pretty damn good. They're pretty damn good. But I don't know, man. They're just not clicking. And so, but yeah, I definitely see it's definitely going to be Lakers and Clippers, and I see the Lakers obviously maybe with my homer eyes, but I see the Lakers winning that series as well too.
Right on. Moving on to the East Coast. Before we started the show, Boston was playing Toronto, and Boston has won, so they have moved forward to the East. I was gonna say the NFL East, the NBA East Championship Finals against the super hot Miami Heat. Miami took 4 against the Pacers, and then dropped 1 to Milwaukee before slapping them around again and winning 4. So now it's going to be Miami, Boston, and then hopefully the boys from LA are going to be playing each other. I think who do you think comes out on the East Coast, man? Miami and Boston. So who do you got?
I mean, damn, how do you pick against Miami right now,
They're on fire. I can't lie. No pun, maybe a little pun intended, but the Miami Heat is literally on fire right now, man. That's how good they are. They're stupid good right now. And if I could interject real quick, and they are the only team actually playing at home because they are still playing in Florida.
That's very right, huh? You're very right. I just haven't been impressed with Boston, and they're missing one of their key players. So, and everything just seems to be going right for Miami. So I'm going to take Miami there. I don't think they roll through that series. I think they might go 4-2. I don't think they go 7, but I think they go 4-2 in that series.
Right on. Like you said, how do you bet against the team that's on fire, literally? I think they go. I could see it going 4-2, 4-1. Honestly, I think that if it was a regular series and then you had to go to the Garden, I think it's a lot closer. I think it's a 4-3 goes Game 7, but because they're in Florida, because they're in the bubble, I think Miami does take it 4-1, 4-2.
Right.
All right, so here it is, and I want you to take your homer eyes off. And we got the Lakers going to the NBA Finals against the Miami Heat. Who takes it?
So now, even though I have homer eyes on that, I really think that if the Lakers make it there, man, I feel like they're going to be beyond determined to win this championship for Kobe. I think it'll solidify LeBron's legacy that he's kind of really looking to do. Because, everybody's like, he was in the East and the East is easier, blah, blah, blah. He can't do that over here. And I just feel like it'll solidify his legacy. And I mean, he's already one of the top 3 dudes of all time, really feel like if there's nothing that's going to stop them if they get to the finals, Yeah. Like I really, really feel that. I just think they're the better team, even though Miami Heat is hot. I just think they're the better team. I'm more worried about the Clippers than anything because I think the Clippers are damn good. I think they're real good. They match up really well with the Lakers. I don't think Miami matches up very well with the Lakers. I think the Lakers will find a game plan and they'll be extra motivated to win that for Kobe. And yeah, man, that's just my opinion. And that one I could see being like a 4-1 series,
Yeah.
The Lakers dominating that series, not squeaking it out. I feel like they might come out and dominate.
Outstanding. So you guys heard it here first. This is our run. If you guys want to take it to the sports book, go do it and make it happen. And when you guys win all that money, how about buying some merchandise from us at our merch store? It's we got little things. We got neck gaiters. We got some face masks. We got some T-shirts. We got some leggings for the girls. We got stuff. So use that money to buy some of that stuff. It helps support the show. You like how I plugged that in there? That was so easy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. Shifting gears into the Major League Baseball because we are the Blown Say podcast. Of course, we're going to talk about baseball. Actually, I don't know if you heard about this, but the MLB postseason plan has been set upon the MLBPA to approve. The MLB bubble plan, as they call it, the wild card would be the top 4 seeds in both leagues would host all games in the best of 3 series. So they would play at home, and the other teams would have to go to them. The 4 AL teams series would run. The 4 AL game or series is that's right. The 4 AL series would run between September 29th and October 1st, and the 4 NL series would run between September 30th and October 2nd. The division series, the highest remaining National League team would be the host in Arlington. The next highest NL seed would be hosting in Houston. The highest AL seed would be hosted in San Diego, and the next AL seed would be hosted in Los Angeles in Dodger Stadium. Now, the championship series, ALCS would take place in San Diego, and the NLCS would take place in Arlington, with the World Series starting on October 20th in Arlington and ending no later than October 28th. It's all up for MLBPA approval. But now, I know, Artie, you and I talked about this a couple weeks ago, how it would be perfect if the AL teams played the postseason at Angel Stadium and the NL teams played all the postseason games at Dodger Stadium. Now they have completely thrown that upside down and said, okay, NL teams are playing at the AL the stadiums, AL teams are playing at the NL stadiums. So how do you like what their postseason bubble plan is? What do you like? What do you don't like? What's going on, Artie? What do you think?
I think they're trying to eliminate some of that competitive advantages. You know what I'm saying? By doing that, saying, okay, how are we going to even this playing field out a little bit, Mm-hmm. So I think it's kind of cool. I mean, I just, it's different, nobody's ever going to like everything no matter what, someone's not going to be happy with something, but it's different and it's cool. What you call it? The MLB bubble plan. I really like that. I think that's creative.
Well, right before we started, I got an alert on the Twitters, and that was they were calling the bubble plan for the MLB playoffs, and I was like, well, it's the MLB bubble plan. I mean, that's just, how do you not just say that?
Yeah, so it rolls right off the tongue.
It rolls right off the tongue. The MLB bubble plan. Thank God I can speak properly right now, or else these beers haven't kicked in yet, or else I wouldn't be able to say that properly. I think it's interesting. I think you're right. They are definitely trying to eliminate the quote unquote home field advantage by American League teams staying with the American League stadiums, and the NL League staying with the NL League stadium. So I like that they're swapping that over. But I think it would have been smarter to do the Angels-Dodgers thing like we had talked about it, just because it would have kept everybody in one spot, and instead they're kind of moving everybody around. I mean, it is what it is. The ALCS will be in San Diego, which would be pretty dope because if they haven't allowed fans in the stadiums by then, San Diego does offer some of those rooftop or business side seating, so you'd be able to actually kind of, if you're lucky and are able to pay enough money, you'd actually be able to watch the game live at the stadium. Not so much at the new stadium in Arlington, but I mean, it sounds like a good plan. If they can keep everybody healthy and everybody like the NBA did as far as the bubble goes, if they keep them in the bubble, then this should be a great way to end the season.
Speaking of, did you see the dude from Houston? I think his name's House. Was his last name House?
Yeah, he said fucking him out.
Yeah, because he brought some people into the hotel for unauthorized hours and blah blah blah. So then he just left the bubble and he's not coming back.
Yep.
Like we're down 3-1 anyways.
You guys, we're out of here, guys. Fuck it. Let's call it what it is. Lakers are winning tonight. Right now, as the playoff picture stands right now today, if the season ended right now, the AL matchups, you'd look at the Yankees and the A's, the Indians, the Rays, the Astros, the White Sox, and the Blue Jays and the Twins. For the National League, you're looking at the Giants versus the Dodgers, the Marlins and Braves, the Cardinals and Cubs, Phillies and Padres. Of all the matchups there, what do you think is kind of a slam dunk for any of those teams going against? If the season ended right now, what do you think that it's going to be when they go to the playoffs? It's going to be like, yeah, you're done.
Jeez, I don't see any in those AL ones. Maybe the Yankees losing to the A's if they stay unhealthy.
Well, they were just talking about Giancarlo and Judge both looking healthy to be coming back in the next week or so.
Okay, so that's kind of an X factor, because it's one of those, I don't know if you ever thought of the theory, but if the 8 beats the 1, they then take on the path of the number 1 seed. You know what I'm saying? And it's supposed to be an easier path. So then if they sneak into the playoffs as the 8 and everybody gets healthy, and they're playing the number 1 team, then they'll take the path of the number 1 team. So
they would definitely. You're right. You know? That would definitely work in their favor if they got healthy and they were able to stay in the playoff matchups there.
So that's interesting to me. I think the other ones are really close. I like the Rays. I just think they're a gritty team. I told you I like them. I would take them over the Indians. I'll take anybody over the Astros. So I got the White Sox on that one, and I don't know, man. I like the Blue Jays. I know that's maybe a little bit of an upset. I know it's a 4-5, but I do like the Blue Jays.
It would. I think it would definitely be an upset since the Blue Jays aren't playing at their home field. They're playing in Buffalo right now.
Right.
So I think definitely that would be a crazy upset, and I think it would be. I don't know if an FU to Canada for not letting them play at their stadium. But it would be like, hey, look at what we could have done playing at home still.
Imagine if they win it all and they come back and throw the parade in Buffalo instead of in Canada.
That would be I want to see that one.
Right.
I have my new favorite team to win the World Series.
And they were talking about how the Blue Jays are the best team in New York.
Oh, that's gotta hurt. Evan, don't cry.
Yeah.
Looking at the NL matchups, who do you think is a no-brainer walking out?
Come on.
But besides the fucking Dodgers.
Come on.
You're begging. Besides the Dodgers, I know you're going to pick over the Giants, which does seem like a slam
The
dunk.
Dodgers over anybody, dude. Okay, maybe not I still pick them, but I think the Padres are the scariest team out there.
Okay. So who would you, other than the Dodgers, who do you see?
I like the Braves, man. Braves are pretty damn good. And they're hot. They're hot as hell right now. I like the Braves. I'm glad we don't have to see them until towards the end of the bracket. I can see the Cardinals sneaking out that series win against the Cubs. They always find ways.
They do. They
Uh,
always find ways to win.
yeah, I like that Padres squad in that number 4 slot.
Yeah.
I really do like them. I'll take in these. I'll take Dodgers, Braves. My upset with the Cardinals and the Padres.
I think I'm tracking with you on that one. I really do think the Padres are one of the most hottest teams right now. We're about to get into the MVP frontrunners right now, and Tatis is heading the National League hand over fist right now. But I do think it's going to be a great series, great postseason. If it all ended right now, and this is how it went down, that would be a great postseason to watch. Even though my Angels are there,
Okay, number 1 pick, baby.
Yeah, there we go. Speaking of MVP frontrunners in the American League, Mike Trout is leading with 13 number 1 votes. Shane Bieber with 11 first place votes. Nelson Cruz with 2, Tim Anderson with 1, and Jose Abreu with 3. You would like to say, not going to happen, but he is a front runner for the number 1 pick. Don't be that guy, bro. Don't be that guy.
Runner.
He's the home run leader right now. He's second in OPS.
So what?
So what? What?
He's a tied home run leader. He's not even like
he has 16. He's got one over Nelson Cruz.
So, and again, my interesting thing is, is he going to have more home runs and wins than the Angels? I say yes for sure.
I think it's moving in that direction.
I think it's a done deal. Yeah, it's me. I don't think he wins MVP.
I honestly think the way Shane Bieber is pitching, I think he takes it. Honestly, he's got the Cy Young, I think, in the bag at this point. But I think he has the opportunity to come out and win the Cy Young and the MVP this year. I think
these votes have to be skewed, dude, because there's hardly any votes in here, and there's way more people that are going to vote than that.
Well, okay, so according to the MLB fucking network and shit like that, these are the number 1 votes. Obviously, they have number 2 votes, number 3 votes, and there's a bunch of people out there who's got 1 or 2, but these are the front runners right now. And they said Mike Trout, Shane Bieber, Nelson Cruz, Tim Anderson, and Jose Abreu. And it's funny that they put Tim Anderson above Jose Abreu, but Tim Anderson has better numbers than Jose Abreu, but Jose Abreu has more first place votes in the system that they're going through right now. If the season ended right now,
right.
I mean, shit. If the season ended right now, I honestly think it's Shane Bieber's going to take it right now, unless something crazy happens in his next 2 starts. I think Trout gets another second place finish, which would give him 5 second place finishes and 3 first place finishes over the last 11 years. So that's not bad. That's not shabby.
That's Hall of Fame material right there for sure.
I think if Trout decided to quit baseball this year, he'd be a Hall of Famer right now.
Yeah, not first ballot though. I don't think. Not
without a World Series championship. No.
Yeah, not a first ballot, but definitely a Hall of Famer for sure.
In the National League. You want to keep talking about the American League?
I just it's not a knock on Trout. I just think his team's doing so bad that I think he's the best player, but he's not even the best player in all of baseball this year. So I think that has like a knock on him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think he's a great player. I think he's the best player in baseball, but I don't think he's having the best season in baseball. Tatis, obviously, who we're going to talk about, has probably taken that reign this year. But I just don't see taking a MVP, because I feel like, one, some of these voters are going to feel like it's played out. 2, the Angels are doing so bad that if he had them even close to sniffing a wild card spot, yes, I tell you, all right, he's taking it. You know what I'm saying? I'm with you on it. They're competing for the number 1 pick is what they're doing, and you know what? I just don't like, I know they have Bieber in here as the number 2 guy or whatever. Bieber's having a great year, but I feel like the season's not over, and I feel like some other dude's going to come out and win it. I mean, call me crazy, but I think like someone else is going to come out and win it that maybe it's not even on this list, but I feel like someone else is going to win it. You know what I'm saying?
We'll have to wait and see what happens over the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, I just feel like because I don't know, something tells me that some dude from like Oakland's gonna win it, like a Chapman or a Olsen. I don't know what their numbers look like, but I mean, dude, they're the number 1 team. They gotta have an MVP contender, right?
I'm with you there. Like I said, I don't think Trout wins it this year. I think he comes in second, third, maybe. But I don't think he definitely. I don't think he wins it. I don't care if he has the most home runs and all that other fun jazz. I think he doesn't win it this year because people aren't looking at him that way because the Angels aren't really doing much this year. Another quick season lost with that so much potential, and just stop getting bats, guys, and start getting arms because we need pitching. I don't know how many games we've lost this year because in the 8th and 9th inning they can't keep the zero up on the board or whatever.
Right.
Anyway, I'm gonna get off my soapbox on that one because it's gonna make me cry at this point. In the National League, the MVP frontrunner is, as we stated before, Fernando Tatis is basically running away with it with 28 first place votes right now. Mookie Betts coming in second with 2 votes. Then you also have honorable mentions: Mr. Mike Yastrzemski, Ian Happ, and Trey Turner. One thing about Mike Yastrzemski, man, if he continues to play the way he's playing right now, next season I think he has a really good shot at contending for the MVP. And he just looks solid. He looks just like he looks and swings just like his grandpa.
Yeah, he's a pretty damn good player, man. He is a pretty damn good player. I'd like to have him.
I would love to have him on my team, but can we please have some arms? And I'm gonna stop talking about the Angels.
Yeah.
What's funny is you I mean, do you have any other? I mean, Fernando Tatis right now, hand over fist. He's won the NL MVP. Do you have anybody else who you think may have an opportunity to dethrone him at this point with what 2 weeks left?
I don't know why Juan Soto isn't in there, dude. I would take Juan Soto over. I mean, Mookie the problem I have with Mookie, I he's a Dodger. The problem I have with Mookie is the Dodgers are well-rounded, dude. Like they're a well-rounded team. They don't need Mookie to really win games. Like they would still win games without him. I mean, look at all the dudes that they've been losing. Just go down left and right, and they just kind of plug and play. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and Juan Soto, since that dude came back, that team has been pretty damn good. Are they in the playoffs right now? No, huh? They're not in the playoffs.
Not right
Yeah,
now.
so that's probably why he's not getting the votes. Ian Happ is a dude that's having a very good year, and they're in the playoffs, and he's probably like going to be considered like comeback player of the year type of thing. I mean, yeah, Tatis is just, he's got his team in the playoffs. He's got great numbers all around, so how do you deny that,
Yeah.
And he's just special, man. He's just so, like, he is fun to watch. He is fun to watch.
No, for sure. I mean, from the swinging 3-0, hitting that grand slam to just everything he does, man. He looks like he's having such a great time, and I wish nothing but the best for Mr. Tatis Jr., and he's going to get a big payday if he keeps this up, and I hope he does because it looks like he's the next big, greatest player that's going to be coming up, so hopefully he keeps it that way.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, moving on. The Astros have fell under 500 for the first time in the season, and they're still in the playoff hunt. That's how bad my Angels are doing. But they have fallen under 500, so fuck them, whatever. Kiss my ass and all the other stuff. Nobody likes you, Mr. Astros, and that's all I'm going to say about them.
Yeah. I was happy. I just want to throw in there that they were under 500.
Absolutely.
I mean, they're probably above it. I haven't really kept track, but the point is that they fell under 500, and I was happy.
I'm with you there. You posted something about the mural of Joe Kelly in L.A. I did see it. For those of you guys playing at home, go and look on Google or Twitter or Instagram somewhere out there. It actually, he took it. What did he say? He took his family out there to see it and pose for pictures. That dude is sad. Oh, he is. Look, Joe Kelly is going to go down, if nothing else, as one of the baddest men in L.A., dude. It's because he doesn't give a fuck.
He doesn't, huh? He doesn't. He does not. I agree, dude.
You want to find me for fucking talking shit? Well, fucking find me. I don't give a fuck. Fuck that dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He wants to call out the league. He wants to call out the freaking the Astros. He wants to, you know what I mean? He's standing for what he believes in, and that's that. And I can respect and love a guy like that.
Yeah, man. Like, I think we all can, right? And yeah, dude, he took his family and posed for it in Lakers jerseys and everything. Obviously, he's a local boy, from Riverside.
Yeah.
so it makes it easy, for him to have the Lakers gear and stuff like that. But I just thought it was cool, man. Where there's just like that is just cool, dude. That is cool. Like there's no way around it. Like that is just cool. I like it. I like it.
Yeah, absolutely. By the way, the Dodgers were the first team to 20 and now 30 wins. It's starting to feel a little scripted now. Are they going to be able to make it through to the end of the season and win this elusive World Series that they've been on the cusp of winning over the last few years? The injury bug you've been talking about, though, has hit them, but they are a deep franchise. They are a deep team. So, I mean, if anybody can withstand a couple little injuries here and there, I think the Dodgers have the ability to go out there and win one for LA. I mean, good luck, man.
Yeah.
Fuck, I can't say I don't want to say anything else good about them because fuck it, it's the Dodgers. But
does it feel a little scripted to you or not, or
bit,
is
yeah,
it just
it
me?
looks like it's just fucking it's happening. Let's just be real. It looks like it was written in stone and all that, and here it is. After what happened with the Astros, what happened with the Red Sox, like it looks like okay, the bullshit's out of the way now. The Dodgers are really the cream of the crop, and they're gonna go ahead and take that win. They should have won maybe once, if not twice, before.
Right.
I'm gonna do this right now, Artie. I'm gonna go ahead and take a step back here. I'm gonna let you talk about the Dodgers right now, real quick. Like they are legitimately the number one contender for the World Series right now. If you go take bets, and
They are who we thought they were, right? They are who we thought
they were. I mean, so Artie, tell us, man. Like, are they gonna go? Are they gonna take it? Are they gonna go all the way this year? I mean, I know you have that fan hat on, but I need you to take the fan hat off. I need the OC Register beat writer. I need Arte Casas. Put that hat back on and tell me, like, what's up with the Dodgers? Why are they gonna win it this year? And why are they gonna be the fucking Dodgers, man?
I just feel like they are playing. It's hard to really say it like this, but I can't think of a better word to say it. I feel like they're playing with like a chip on their shoulder because they realized that they were robbed of a World Series, maybe two, but for sure one, right? They were robbed of a World Series, and I feel like they are all secretly playing with a chip on their shoulder. And to play with the chip on your shoulder and be that talented, that's what's making them special to me, in my eyes, right? Because they're not putting up the greatest of numbers. They're just kind of going out there and playing and passing, like playing a game where they pass the baton. Like they remind me a lot of how Angels played when they beat the World Series, when they won the World Series and beat the Giants, and among other teams. Usually, it's that kind of mentality with the teams that win it all. They're just kind of passing the baton. They're like, they don't strike out very often. They draw walks, and they are always in the games because they kind of get the hits at the key moments because they're constantly working counts, and that's a sign and pedigree of a championship team. Now, you need the defense, which they're very fast all around the field. They have multiple guys that can play multiple positions, and then they are very deep with their starting rotation. Although, yesterday, Dustin May got hit in the foot, so he's out. So he's nursing his foot. Nothing came back. He's just probably. I mean, they got such a good lead and stuff. It's one of those why rush them, which is why I didn't understand why they were gonna originally start Buehler, but they put Buehler on the DL with the whole blister finger issue. With the playoffs rolling around, dude, we need Buehler at full strength. We can't have those blister issues. So that's two dogs right there that are on the DL. We have Turner, who is coming back maybe this weekend from the DL. That's another dude that, again, he's just kind of the glue to that team. He has that leadership, like everybody looks at him for leadership. While his skills aren't like the best skills on the team, he's still very skilled. And by far, he's one of the leaders on that team. So they're obviously the Dodgers' weakness is always going to be that closing position. And I know, Canley has solid numbers, but God, he's just scary. He's not like that dominant closer he was before. He's just always scary. And the Dodgers are going to live and die with him. No matter what, they're going to live and die with him. But they still have a pretty good bullpen. That closers kind of worries everybody, I just think they're the deepest and most well-rounded team. And they're playing with a chip on their shoulder because they found out this offseason that they were cheated by the Astros. You know what I'm saying?
Not only the Astros, but the Red Sox as well.
Right, but the Red Sox realistically were just more talented than the Dodgers. You just gotta, they were cheated, but man, they were just more talented. That team was more talented. And damn, the Dodgers were just more talented, you know.
Yeah.
The Astros is the one that's like, oh, dude, they were talented, but the Dodgers had all the mojo going that year. Everything was going right. And, you know, looking back now, it makes sense. Like, yeah, okay, we took it to 7 games with them cheating. But there's no way they win. There's no way they win that series, dude, if they're not cheating. You know what I'm saying? There's no way. No way. No, I don't even know if it goes to 7, to be honest.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I mean, what do we know that we can't look back and go, well, if this and that, maybe, and, you know, who knows? And I mean, I think this year is the year the Dodgers get their revenge, and they get him back.
I think they do. I think they do. I feel like it's trending that way. Now, you know, my cousin Ronnie actually texted me. He said, "I swear, if the Dodgers win it this year, I'm never going to be a fan again." Right? He's a Dodgers fan. I was like, "What? What do you mean?" And he said, "Yeah, man." He's like, imagine them winning and us still not getting to really celebrate a win. And I was like, "Oh, hadn't thought about that." Because we're not going to be able to be in attendance. We're not going to have that same, that ticker tape parade, you know, like
Right.
This is just not going to happen. So I'm like, oh, I had not thought about that. You know,
Yeah.
it's right. He's right. He's damn right.
Well, I mean, what else can we say at this point, right? A couple more things on baseball. The Braves have gone bonkers, scoring a ton of runs lately, setting the National League modern record with 39 runs, one shy of the MLB modern day record. And then Adam Duvall has 3 home run games in 1 week. So 2 times he hit 3 home runs in a single game. That in itself is a pretty amazing damn thing. That's why we're talking
Pretty
about
crazy, right?
The Braves are fucking on fire también. And then,
Yeah.
what'd you say? Red Sox rookie Bobby Dalbec has set a new rookie record with 5 consecutive games with a home run. 5 times with a fucking home run in a row.
It's crazy, right? That's crazy, dude.
I mean, you can't even try to make that into a Disney movie, bro. Like, it's just
Right.
It's one of those things that, dude, they just had to have the right pitch at the right time. Right. I mean, just wow. That's pretty amazing. Hitting a couple home runs, hitting let's say 3 home runs over 5 games. That's even a hard thing to do. Let alone 1 in every game for 5 games straight. That's crazy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. To me, that's a trip. That is a trip. So, but yeah, crazy stuff going on in baseball. It's fun. It's exciting. I like it. Although, did you see for the first at the Padres and Giants games series has been postponed because of positive COVID test on, is it the Padres side? I think it was the Padres side.
I hadn't heard anything about that. It just happened.
Yeah, it just happened today, right before the game started.
Oh,
that was pretty crazy.
That's gonna be some interesting things. I forget who it was. I believe it was the Cardinals. Got to play like 21 games in 16 days. It's stupid how they're going to be playing how many doubleheaders. And by the way, I read this article the other day. Clayton Kershaw was talking about the 7-inning doubleheader things that they got going on right now, and the not overtime, but the extra innings runner on second base. He was like, man, it's fine for this year because of the situation that we're in, but do not bring this shit back. Like, I don't want to see this anymore. Like, this is ridiculous, you know. What do you think about that? His comments on that?
I mean, I don't know. What do you think? Like, what do you go with that? That's just it's interesting.
I'm not a fan. I get it. It makes the game go by faster in extra innings, but I'm not a fan of having a runner on second. Starting the inning, like, because even like, let's just say you gave up a hit, right? And at the beginning of the 10th inning, all right, now you got a runner on first. You could potentially get that double play ball, and now you're 2 outs with the third out sitting at the plate. Instead, somebody gets a ground ball. Now you got a runner at third with 1 out, and here all you need to do is get a sac fly or a ball in a little gap or something like that, or even bunt them in if you want to suicide squeeze it. I think it just changes the game and the and the way you play it at that time, at that point. I'm not a fan of it. I was at the beginning because I was like, oh, this is gonna be interesting. It's gonna be fun to see what they're gonna do. But I think it takes away from it. It removes. Like you make one mistake and the game's basically over. You know what I mean? If you're playing if you're playing with no runners on, starting the inning, you make a mistake, there's a runner on first. You know what I mean?
Right.
And you can still get out of it with the ground ball, get 2 out. Like I said, I don't know. To me, I hope it's just a one-time deal and it's gone by the end of the season. But yeah, I mean, that's how I feel about it, man. What do you think, Artie?
Could it be because the Angels made those mistakes in extra innings? We're talking about that?
We don't need to talk about it, but I think that is part of why I say fuck it.
I mean, they're just trying to speed up the games and get the decision over with. I don't know. It's all right. It don't bother me. What I really like 7-inning games and the doubleheaders. I think those are cool.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the 7-inning doubleheaders, but I'm not okay with the base runner in the first inning of extra innings, whether it be the 8th or the 10th. I think that's overkill.
Right. Yeah. I really like the DHs. Do you?
I love the DH. Welcome to the American League, sir.
Yeah. It makes it especially better for us since we just have such a better hitting team than everybody else,
Absolutely. You got so many guys to hit.
Yeah.
And on that note, Mr. Artie, you got anything else for us tonight?
Nah. I mean, I'm very. One fun stat for the first time yesterday in sports history: the NFL, the NHL, MLB, NBA, like all the major sports and even some of the minor ones were playing on the same day. That was pretty cool. It was a full slate of sports, and it was fun.
It was a great sports day.
Yeah. And you know what? Shout out to my wife because she was like, oh no, football started again already? I was like, yup.
Hey, we got to have you guys over one of these for one of these games,
right.
Sundays, man. I got this Sunday off. I'm just saying, if you want to bring the boys to come hang out, let's watch some football.
Yeah, so I'll talk to the wife. We're putting in cement tomorrow, so we've got to see how that goes, see how it works out.
You got to let it dry for Sunday, so might as well come over here so nobody walks on it. I'm just throwing out ideas, sir.
Very true. All right.
Let's hear that famous Artie send-off, brother.
All right. Well, folks, let's. I feel like we're trending in that direction. I feel like there's less cases, maybe there's less talk about it or whatever it is, but continue to wear those masks, wash your hands, and be socially distancing yourself appropriately so we can all get back out there and get to some normalcy. See you next week.
All right, man. Guys, everybody, we'll see you all next week. Make sure you guys do stay safe, guys. Wear your mask, wash your hands, use that hand sanitizer wherever needed. We want to thank you guys so much again for joining us. Don't forget to follow us on social media at Twitter at @theblown_save, on Instagram at @theblown_save. Don't forget you guys can still reach out to us at theblown_save-podcast @gmail.com. Don't forget there is a merch shop. You guys can find some pretty cool stuff you guys can buy to help stay safe. On top of all that, we do want to thank all of our listeners, not only here in the U.S., but across the world. So thank you to our listeners in India, Saudi Arabia, the Netherlands, Brazil, and everybody else that you guys are listening out there. Here in the States, thank you to Moreno Valley, La Puente, Fontana, Los Angeles, Riverside, Ontario, Washington, Virginia, Bloomington, California, New York, San Jose, California, and everywhere else that you guys are listening on the proxy server. Make sure you guys are liking, subscribing, following us, sharing us with your friends. Tell them, hey, these guys are hilarious. Drink a couple beers with us. If you guys did drink a couple beers with us today, make sure you guys have a designated driver or you guys are taking an Uber or a Lyft home. As always, guys, we love you guys. We'll see you guys next week. And enjoy the picks, enjoy football, and fuck it. Let's have a great week, man. Go.